Family SUVs have a tough job. Just think about what we ask of them. They need to look good, offer low running costs, have loads of equipment, be fun to drive, fit all your stuff in for your family, shopping and daily life. But get it right and manufacturers get big sales as the reward. For the last 15 years, the Nissan Qashqai has ticked more boxes than most. In fact, it has been consistently one of the top selling cars in the UK. But life is about to get tougher. This is the third generation and it's not going to be as easy as it was for its predecessors because competition is rife. It's up against cars like this, the Seat Ateca. Now, before the Ateca, Seat had not made a single SUV. And then in 2016, this came along. Let's find out how the Nissan Qashqai fares against this rival. First though, make sure you subscribe to the CarGurus UK YouTube channel by clicking here. Click here now. Done it? If first impressions matter, then the Seat stumbles right out of the blocks because despite a facelift in 2020 sharpening up its styling a bit, it looks a tiny bit dull. True, this silver paint and the experienced trim level don't do it any favours, but compared with the much more adventurous looking Qashqais, it's a little bit forgettable. The Nissan, on the other hand, is a riot of interesting curves and creases and unusual styling features, such as the distinctive headlamps and imprints in the bumpers. Compared with previous Qashqais, it's much more exciting and we think the bold styling works rather well, especially in high-end Techno trim with this contrasting roof and 19-inch wheels. There's not too much to choose between these two boots. The Seat is about 30 litres bigger, but they both have big, wide, square openings. Only the Seat has these handy levers in the boot for folding down the rear seats though. On the other hand, the Qashqai comes with an adjustable boot floor, something you don't get in the Ateca. Two things absent from both cars are sliding rear seats that give you the choice between boot space and passenger space, and three-way split folding rear seats. Some rivals offer both. Talking of rear seats, the Ateca has more shoulder room and leg room, while the Qashqai has doors that open up to 85 degrees. That's wider than any other rival and very useful for getting baby seats in and out. Now that's the precious members of the family sorted. You want to know what it's going to be like for you, right? I mean, the car is about £30,000, so your comfort is just as important. Seat wants to be seen as a sporty, exciting brand, but we can't really see much of that in here. There's a sort of heartbeat pulse to the starter button, and the FR models and this Experience Luxe model come with sport seats, which, well, they're reasonably comfortable, but they could do with a little bit more sideways support. Those familiar with the old Seat Leon will recognise this dash, but in 2022 it just feels a little bit old-fashioned. Okay, there's plenty of buttons, they're logically laid out and we like these shortcut buttons, but there's just too much dark grey plastic. Part of the 2020 facelift included a new infotainment system and it's impressively responsive with very swish graphics, but the lack of a physical volume control knob is annoying. You do get loads of standard equipment. Now, this is a top-of-the-range car, but even the entry-level model has wireless phone charging, wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, 2 USB-C charging points in the front and the back, cruise control, keyless entry and folding mirrors. Still, it's simply not as smart inside as the Nissan Qashqai. As well as its flashier exterior design, the Qashqai feels more up-to-date inside too. There's smart, squidgy faux leather panels on the doors and dashboard, and the whole ambience in here is just a bit more upmarket. The slim tablet-style touchscreen perched on top of the centre console looks much more 2022 than the slab of grey plastic around the Ateca's infotainment system, for example. And look at that, a volume control knob. Big points there, Nissan. It's a shame then that the infotainment system itself is not great. The operating system is laggy and not all that easy to get your head around, while the graphics themselves look rather old-fashioned. At least the 12-inch digital display that you get instead of the instrument cluster on high-end Techno models looks good. This trim also gets a useful heads-up display, something you won't find on the Seat. As with the Ateca, you are blessed with lots of standard equipment in the Nissan. For example, the basic level car even comes with adaptive cruise control. Go for a mid-range car and you get dual zone climate control, keyless entry and folding door mirrors. And if you go for a top of the range Tecna, you get an electric tailgate, heated steering wheel and driver assistance that keeps you centered in your lane on the motorway. On the road, the Seat impresses. It has a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It has 148 brake horsepower and it is brilliant. Although it doesn't have any clever mild hybrid technology like the 1.3 in the Qashqai, it does still return over 40 miles per gallon, has more mid-range punch than the Nissan and is just so smooth. The combination of this engine and the responsive 7-speed dual-clutch automatic is great, especially if you put the transmission in S mode or use the steering wheel mounted paddles. Alternatively, there are a couple of diesel engines to choose from, or a lower powered 1 litre model or a more powerful 2 litre model. This, however, is all the engine you'll need. Even better news if you're a keen driver is that the Ateca's chassis is as good as that engine. Family SUVs are not normally designed to put a smile on your face, but the Ateca feels agile, stable and nimble. The steering is particularly good, it's well weighted and it feels very direct in its responses. Okay, so a normal family hatch such as a Seat Leon is still ultimately more fun, but the Ateca isn't half bad. It's certainly more entertaining on a country road than the Qashqai. The Nissan suffers with overly light steering that centres itself too quickly and a little bit too much body roll, while its ride on these 19-inch wheels is no better than the Ateca's. The 6-speed manual gear shift on this car has a firm direct feel and a positive action, but it's spoiled a bit by an overly long first gear, which accentuates the fact that you need to rev the engine quite hard to stop it from feeling lazy. Talking of laziness, while this 1.3 engine, which is turbocharged and has mild hybrid technology, pushes out more brake horsepower than the Ateca's at 156, it just doesn't feel as powerful as the Seat. On paper, there's not much in it, with the Ateca getting from 0 to 60 in 8.6 seconds and the Qashqai doing the same in 9.5. The Nissan just feels a bit less punchy. That's not to say the Qashqai is bad to drive, it's just not particularly fun and it doesn't offer any more comfort in return. What it does offer over the Ateca though is better fuel economy at around 44 miles per gallon, and that light steering makes driving around town a breeze. In fact, if you go for the CVT automatic rather than the manual, you've got the ideal urban runabout. In the end, your choice boils down to, bizarrely, do you want a family car that's boring to drive and fun to look at, or great fun to drive but boring to look at? For us, we'd take the Ateca. It just feels like a more complete, coherent and satisfying package. It's got a better engine, a better gear shift, it's more fun to drive and it's marginally more practical. Of course, we really wouldn't blame you if you went for the snazzier looking Qashqai. Both are brilliant cars. So does the Ateca's ability appeal, or do the Qashqai's sharper looks sell it for you? Let us know in the comments, and please remember to like and subscribe to the CarGurus UK YouTube channel, and when you're searching for your next car, remember to visit cargurus.co.uk where you'll find great deals from top rated dealers.